Guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Doing all right, guys. Got the Wayne County permit for the pond, as you guys know, and got the FOIA lawsuit straightened out. Got that refiled and resubmitted. Just to give you a little background on the FOIA lawsuit. Basically, we have a tax tribunal case July 10th, or 20th rather, in Pontiac. Basically, the city retroactively revoked my disabled veteran tax exemption. Hey, how's it going, Joe? But they revoked my disabled veteran tax exemption, and that was done approximately 9 months after it was approved. Well, it was approved the other year previously as well. So I guess 21 months later, roughly, after it was originally approved in 2024. And of course, again in 2025, September of 2025, excuse me, the city decided to retroactively revoke it while I was being maliciously prosecuted without any probable cause. You can't interfere with the enforcement of a law that doesn't exist. We went through that time and time again. What does that mean exactly? Well, basically, policy is not ordinance. Policy is not criminal law. Enforcing a policy does not allow you to walk into someone's backyard and force the extinguishment of a fire pit that's being lawfully used. Just not how that works. Kind of pretty obvious to most people. Most people understand that. Like, if you're on your private property, especially if you're in your backyard. I mean, if you're not allowed to exist in your backyard, free from molestation, then where are you allowed to exist? That is the $1,000,000 question. Because at that point, that is curtilage, and that is the inner walls of the home treated the same. So essentially at that point, you're not allowed to exist in your house, period. Point blank, right? The government can just come in without a warrant to enforce laws that don't exist. I disagree with that premise wholeheartedly. I think that is the most absurd thing. I mean, it's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard of. It's the most absurd thing I've ever thought, to be honest with you. And so, we don't obviously support that viewpoint. We think that is absolutely criminal, insane, right? And just nonsensical, right? But anywho, so that tax tribunal case involves that, right? So they revoked the exemption 9 months after the fact, under the premise that this house that you see behind me is not my primary residence. That's their premise. Yeah, I saw that, Zan. Saw that. Yeah, it's still over there. That baby deer is still over there, yeah. He's just hanging out by the logs. We're cutting them up a little bit, one by one, but there, he's fine. But July 10th or July 20th, that's coming up. But the premise is that, I don't live in this house, that this isn't my primary residence, which is kind of strange. Kind of a strange premise, considering I paid $400,000 for this house. Well, I got a mortgage, right, for $400,000, and I'm required to live in it for at least 2 years. So essentially, the city of Wayne is also claiming that I'm committing mortgage fraud, right? Because the VA home loan has requirements, right? You got to actually live in the house. You can't, it can't be how do I say, only a rental property, right? So you actually have to live in it. You can live in it and rent it out. That's completely fine and legal. And millions, or I wouldn't say millions, but thousands, tens of thousands of veterans do that. They get the VA home loan, and sometimes they buy a duplex, sometimes a triplex, sometimes just a big house, right? They can buy a house with 10, 11 bedrooms in it, and maybe they only need 3 bedrooms, right? So they rent out the other remaining bedrooms, and that's just common sense. But of course, the government, the city of Wayne, right? I'm talking about here. They like to rape people in the ass with their tax hikes, right? They like to rape you in the ass with the tax hikes. The tax hikes. So basically, if they can zone your property commercial or whatever, then it like doubles your taxes, right? Or they can just say that it's not your primary principal residence, right? Or yeah, that's what they call it, PRE, right? Principal residence exemption, right? If they can claim that it's not a principal residence or what have you, then they can, essentially just get a bunch of money, extra money out of you, right? For the same property. The city's not producing any more goods or services or value to you, the taxpayer. But yeah, it's just a way, like I said, it's all a fraud. These local governments are complete and total fraudulent entities. They are committing, just fraud, simple as that. These tax assessment offices, the city of Wayne's tax assessor in general, puff pass, come on over, get some. What are you, scared, Zan? Scared Zan Ron 6057. Yeah, he's scared a little bit. I'm trying to get him to sue the city of Wayne. Just like I said, accountability, right? That's what we're all about here on this channel. We're not, money's nice. Don't get me wrong, Zan. I want you to sue them and get a bunch of money and get a nice settlement. But a settlement really is a consolation prize, because, then you can't build a record, right? What would you want more? What would you want more, Zan, than to be able to put that fucking idiot doofus fuck who violated your rights on the motherfucking stand, and say, hey, buddy, explain this to me. Play the video and just read off his police report and ask him questions on that police report. And then, honestly, it's so easy because, you can use... I'm not gonna get into the details, right? But, I can show you what to do, and you can basically reference that police report and that video, transcribe it, right? And start creating an actual picture for the trier of facts, right? So that way you put them on the stand, right? And you say, hey, your police report says this, but video shows this. How's that work? Would you mind explaining that discrepancy? And then just watch them sweat, right? Watch old boy just sweat buckets of fucking, vagina juice, right? That's what all these pigs have. Vaginas. All pigs have vaginas, right? Some of them are hairy, some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them are black, some of them are white, some of them are pink, some of them are purple, guys. But they all have vaginas. Only pigs have vaginas. Well, not only pigs have vaginas, but all pigs have vaginas, right? Every single one of them. They are wussies. Wussies, right? That's what cops are. Wussies, because cops are pigs and pigs are wussies, right? Pigs have to roam around in a gang, and they're always claiming officer safety, right? As if the general public has any requirement to give a fuck about your perceived speculative public safety, right? Or your officer safety, right? Let me clarify. Your officer safety. As if the public is supposed to give any fucks about your so-called speculative officer safety. Fuck your officer safety. You don't deserve it. The honest truth is the police profession is not statistically that dangerous of a job. It's actually pretty middle of the road as far as professions go. And so, it just goes to show, right? statistically speaking, that, policing is not really a dangerous job. It's dangerous because police officers make it dangerous because they don't know the law themselves, and they're not required to know the law apparently, and they can always just claim ignorance of the law, and somehow that's called qualified immunity. But if you, as a private citizen taxpayer, violate the law, even if it's unknowingly, right? Like, let's say the law doesn't even exist, right? Let's say the law isn't even articulated properly, right? And then you violate it, right? Well, guess what? You think you get plausible deniability, benefit of the doubt? Fuck no. Here's your fucking goulash, right? Here's your fucking juice box, right? Here's the Wayne County Jail for you, right? That's what you get. That's what you get, private citizen. You get the chair by comparison, right? The police and the prosecutor and the judge, right? They all get qualified immunity, right? They all get it, or absolute immunity, right? They get absolute immunity. Isn't that just amazing? Isn't that just amazing? So theoretically, right? A judge, prosecutor, defense attorney, they could all work in cahoots, right? To get more money, right? Carrie Miller, right? She has a vested interest in having as many hearings as humanly possible because it's money, right? It's money. And so, Bosnick, same way, right? You just can make your money, right? The judge doesn't care because the more hearings, the more money the court makes, right? And so the only one that's losing out is the person being accused, right? They're the one losing out. They're the one losing time from work. They're the one losing their freedom. They're the one getting ripped away from their family, right? They're the one having to appear in person in court while the prosecution, who's maliciously prosecuting you, by the way, never established probable cause. Never established probable cause. Don't even articulate probable cause of a crime. But somehow you're in jail and you got bond conditions. It's like abracadabra, right? And you're just like, that's so strange. You can't even articulate probable cause. But because you charged me with a misdemeanor, right, there's a loophole in the law where if we don't charge him with a felony, right, then we don't have to have a probable cause conference, right? So then we can just skirt around the probable cause standard, right? So they think, right? Well, criminally speaking, that's the case. And where's the safeguards? Well, there are no safeguards. My case demonstrated it more than any. And that's my debt to society. That's my service to society, was this criminal case. People said, well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Because I wanted to illustrate how broken the system is. And I illustrated how broken the system is. And I showed you and I showcased it to you how broken this so-called criminal justice system is. I showed you in real time. I showed you how broken it was in the city of Wayne. So broken, in fact, they don't even have to have a codified fucking ordinance to enforce. Right? Why did they pass a codified ordinance after the sentencing? Well, because they knew they had to have one. But did these shitbags recluse their statements? Did they revoke their statements? Did they retract them? Did they say, hey, Your Honor, we fucked up. We made a mistake here. Right? Did they even claim that they made a mistake? No, they just said it's a non-issue, Your Honor. Fuck worrying about if we had an ordinance or not to enforce. That's a non-issue. Remember McFarlin, he used the N-word, right? He called a pig the N-word, right? That's the real crime here. Not breaking into someone's house without a warrant to enforce a law that doesn't exist without exigent circumstances. No, that's not the crime. And then criminally prosecuting somebody throughout that entire sequence, right? That's not the crime, right? And then continuing to come back to the person's house and terrorize them over and over and over again without an exigent circumstance. Without an exigent circumstance, without a warrant, without even a codified fucking ordinance to enforce, right? And then the city of Wayne wants to sit here and lecture people. Fat fuck, minutes away from a heart attack, Donald Quarles, right? And Deborah Waz, and Kathy Lawrence, and Trembolone Rob Darwich, right? The little bitch Rob Darwich, right? Rob Bitchwich, right? And John Racy, right? He can defame people, make false accusations. Oh yeah, he's been harassing me for over 2 years. Never even said a word to the guy. in private. Never once have I even said a word to the guy. Never had a conversation with the guy. Never had a real conversation with this guy. Public, we've had some public banter, right? But, just can use his position to lie and defame people, right? Live on the internet, using his mayoral position to defame a private citizen who's actually running for office, telling people not to vote for me, right? Telling people not to vote for me, using his position to try to influence an election, right? Which, of course, he has the city newspaper too, right? So you're like, huh, that's not a conflict of interest, though. Right. Yeah, we know. So, who else do we got? Oh, Brock, right? He said, "Oh, we're gonna stand behind our law enforcement and our police, and yeah, we're not gonna tolerate somebody, driving a wrench into our political scam that we have here, because that's what it is. It's a fucking scam. A bunch of part-time idiots that have no idea what they're doing. There's no oversight over Diane Webb whatsoever. They rubber stamp and pass whatever they want, willy-nilly, like little cuck bitches, because that's what the city council is, a bunch of cuck bitches. A bunch of cuck bitches or worthless fucking parasites. That's what they all are. And that includes all the department heads, too. Cuck bitches and worthless parasites. That's what they are. That's what they've always been, right? They just, they maliciously prosecuted Mark Blackwell, and, they thought, oh yeah, well that's the end of that, right? We ain't gonna have another Mark Blackwell because the damage is done, right? Like just because like they prosecute him and they, Mark Blackwell, wins a little bit, right? That, it's still the damage is done. Other people see that. Other people say, wow, if I criticize the city of Wayne or notice too many things and speak about it publicly, I'm gonna be facing what Mark Blackwell faced. Multiple felony charges, right? I mean, completely and utter mythology, right? Complete and utter witchcraft, sorcery. He essentially got charged with sorcery, just like I did. Just like you did, Zan. You got charged with sorcery too, buddy. You're the missing link in all this, right? You're the link between Blackwell and me. That's what you are, buddy. Congratulations. Inadvertently. See, isn't that weird how the universe works? Isn't that weird how God, right? How our Creator puts all of us in each other's pathway for a common purpose. What's the common purpose, Dan? The common purpose is we have to get rid of these parasitic motherfuckers once and for all. And so, obviously, I'm going to hold a gun to your head and force you to sue these motherfuckers. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I am not going to let you not sue these motherfuckers. That's just the bottom line. And I don't think I can let you take any money, dude. I mean, unless these people are willing to offer you significant, life-changing, generational changing money, dude, you gotta take one for the team, dude. Mark Blackwell needs you. I need you. We all fucking need you, man. The city of Wayne needs you, buddy. Yes, everything happens for a reason, man. And there's a reason why I moved to Wayne, Michigan. And there's a reason why that shitbag officer violated your First Amendment rights and retaliated against you and maliciously prosecuted you. There's a reason why it happened. And there's a reason why it happened to me. And there's a reason why it happened to Mark Blackwell. Right? There's a reason why. And that reason is because these people are pure fucking evil. And it is our duty to get these people the fuck out of town. Well, preferably in a cage, right? That's where they all deserve to be, right? They all deserve. Judge O'Leary, Kerry Miller, Michael Bosnick, Finley Carter, Ryan Strong, Jeremy Schneider, Michael Stradner, all these people, and a whole host of others, Tina Parnell, all of them deserve to be locked in a fucking cage. Locked in a cage. That's what they deserve. For malicious prosecution, for perjury, for fucking treason, for terrorism, for state-sanctioned terrorism is what the fuck this shit is. That's exactly what it is. State-sanctioned terrorism. State-funded terrorism is what it is, right? When you send police officers that's paid with taxpayer money to violate somebody's rights and to falsely arrest them and falsely charge and maliciously prosecute them, right? When you do that, that really is a form of terrorism. It's a form of treason. It's a form of fraud. It's fraud upon the public is what it is exactly what it is. It's misappropriation of public resources, public money, right? You're taking public money, taxpayer money, and using it for an improper purpose, right? Voters supported terrorism, apparently. Well, inadvertently, right? Essentially, yeah. But again, there's no checks and balances. Who's supposed to keep the government in line? Oh, well, that's supposed to be the county. Well, what's the county tell you? Oh, well, contact your local police department. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll contact the police that are violating my rights. I'm sure they're going to investigate themselves and they're going to find no wrongdoing. Even though, obviously, the prosecutor knows that's clearly a conflict of interest. You can't investigate yourself. You can't say, hey, I investigated myself and my buddy and I didn't find anything wrong with it. Well, of course you didn't, And so this whole thing, this whole system, this whole governmental apparatus, it's a fucking sham. It is a complete and utter fraud on the public, is what it is. And that's exactly what my argument is. That the Mark Blackwell case was a fraud prosecution, that your case, Zan, was a fraud prosecution, and my case as well was a fraud prosecution. Fraudulent prosecution, right? A prosecution that was initiated without any possibility of probable cause, right? That is exactly why. Because, right? Here's the thing. One time the city of Wayne can say, oh, it's an isolated one-off mistake, right? It's an isolated one-off event. Oops, sorry about that. Won't happen again. Well, you get my case, right? Well, okay, 2, right? Well, okay, McFarlin's crazy. Okay, let's say they get it, right? Well, it's years and years and years apart. So there's no pattern here, right? That's what they're going to argue. Oh, there's no pattern here. Well, Zan, you are the missing link, buddy. Congratulations. How do you feel? Your civic duty is calling you, buddy. Your civic duty is calling you, and all you got to do is, well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what you got to do. And, because it's my understanding that the same prosecutor that charged me charged you with that bullshit. But she didn't want to pursue it. She dismissed it with prejudice. But what did she dismiss with prejudice? Interfering with police or fire. Huh. Oh, that's the same bullshit charge they charged me with. Isn't that something? Well, the guy that maliciously prosecuted you, he no longer works for the city of Wayne. We'd have to figure out why that is, right? But the officer, Mohammed El-Ziyadi, right? He's Officer of the Year. He's Officer of the Year for violating my rights. Not just on May 9th of 2025, of course, but January 9th of 2026, right? 2 times he's violated my constitutional and civil rights. On video, it's all right there, under the color of law. Came on my property without a warrant, without exigent circumstances. The first time was to enforce a law that didn't exist. An open burn policy, right? A policy, which, of course, private citizens don't have to follow. Policy. That's for little bitch. That's for little cuck bitches. That's for public servants to follow. Public servants, right? Public servants, get on your knees, public servant, and eat my shorts, right? Eat my shorts and lick my asshole, public servant. That's what you can do. That's all you can do. And then once you're done, you better clean it all up, and then you're dismissed. You're dismissed, little doggy. Get back in your little taxpayer-funded terrorism mobile and go catch some speeders, right? Because that's all you guys know how to do, apparently, is write traffic citations. You don't know how to investigate crimes because you don't know what probable cause is. How could you investigate crimes if you clearly don't even know what probable cause is, right? You don't even know how to articulate probable cause, so how would you be able to investigate a crime, right? Well, that's the nice way to put it, right? The real reality is that they're completely woefully culpable and they know exactly what they're doing, and everything that they do is a calculated, methodical decision, right? This isn't, oh, we're just incompetent morons, right? Well, that's part of it, right? Don't get me wrong. That's definitely part of it in the city of Wayne. The entire city council and all the department heads, right? That is the sad reality. But there's more. There's more than just that, guys. There's much more than just that. You see, there's this thing called, malicious compliance, right? It's kind of a form of malicious compliance. but a willful, methodical, calculated, right, premeditated decision making has went into this. It's not by mistake, guys. Some of it is, right? Some of, like, hey, we left too many breadcrumbs, right? We were too sloppy, right? But let's read some of the comments. Let's catch up. Let's see what's next. I'm rooting for you. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't necessarily have much faith in the American electorate, right? I don't have very much faith in it, but never say never, right? We'll keep our name in the hat, indefinitely. We'll indefinitely keep our name in the hat, and who knows? Maybe eventually we'll win. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get no votes. Maybe we'll get all the votes. I don't know. That's why you have elections, and maybe they'll commit election fraud and steal the election from me. Who knows? Right? Who knows? Tina Parnell is a dirty, conniving, unflattering, whorebag cunt. Is what she is. Resting bitch face Tina. A horrific sight. Horrific sight. Right. Yeah, she's just a nasty cunt is what she is. And Tina the Llama, I call her Tina the Llama because she kind of reminds me of the llama on Napoleon Dynamite, who is named Tina, conveniently enough. She kind of reminds me. She kind of looks like a llama a little bit. But Tina the Llama, Napoleon Dynamite. How does that make you feel? I hope it makes you feel awful. And if it offends you, well, good. I'm glad it offended you. Very glad. Glad to hear it. I got way more where that came from, but I'll leave it at that for this video, right? Because, I have zero faith. Because it's not about who votes. It's about who counts the votes, guys, as you all know. As you guys all know. I got your sign in my yard. Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Guard it with your life. Although, yes, your life is worth far more than that sign, but please protect that sign at all costs. That is a history-making sign right there. That is a brilliant sign, if I do say so myself, because it clearly shows, well, veteran, no salary, fix Wayne. That's the mantra. That is all we're here to do. I'm just a veteran that doesn't want to take any salary, and I'll fix Wayne. Now, does that mean I'm just going to give it away so people can waste it and piss it away? No. That's not what I mean by that. Of course, I'm going to take the money, but I'm going to reinvest 100% of it into those in the city of Wayne that deserve the money, right? Ways to actually help people in Wayne. And the money is going to be utilized to help the most people as much as humanly possible in the city of Wayne. One of those things is, bringing a pond to the city of Wayne, right? Bringing a nice wetland improvement project, a nice memorial pond to the city of Wayne so we can honor veterans, truly honor veterans, right? Like John Zook Jr., who was murdered by the Wayne Police Department in June of 2024. And then the city of Wayne, of course, I guess paid $400,000 out for that tragedy, as they call it, right? That's what the city of Wayne police calls it, a tragedy. Alfred Brock says I'm trying to capitalize on a tragedy, something to that effect, right? I'm trying to exploit the tragedy that occurred, right? And I'm like, no, it really wasn't a tragedy. That was murder. That's what it was. But manslaughter at the very least. But of course, that's just my opinion, right? It's just my opinion. Who am I? I'm just a guy on YouTube, right? Brett. Oh, it's Brett. Brett Mack. Oh yeah, Brett. Yeah, his daddy, his mom and daddy, they're both politically connected. He's the status quo. He's a bootlicker. Brett, from what I've heard, I've never had a conversation with the guy, but I've heard from some pretty reliable sources that he's a bootlicker. He's one of those types that wants to, kind of like follow in the footsteps of his parents and his family members, right? But they're bootlickers, right? They're government parasite class. They don't come from a working class background like you and I, Zan, right? I mean, these people, listen, These people are not even human compared to you, Zan. Do you think these people could work 84 hours a week assembling, in a warehouse, in a factory, anything like that, physical labor, outside, outdoors, splitting wood, any of that, right? No, of course not. Of course not. Um, of course not. They definitely, certainly could not handle that. So they're not even, really human compared to you, or I for that matter. Not to say that I'm, the workhorse that you are, sir, but I've had my fair share of blue collar, work history. I have a very blue collar work history, and you know, um, blue collar folks have more. Um, they're more human in my eyes, right? People that actually work for a living. I have real respect for people that actually work and do physical labor, and aren't just sitting in an office soaking up money, right? Or parasiting, grifting, right? Because that's what the city of Wayne is—a bunch of grifters, a bunch of grifters. And I mean all the city council, department heads, fire chief, police chief, all the assistant chiefs or whatever bullshit titles they give them, because they really shouldn't even. Like I want to know what they do all day besides grift and make shit up and cover for their boys and cover their own ass and you know maliciously prosecute people. I want to know what they actually do, because I really would love to know, but of course they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what they do. They would never dare show you a typical work day in a City of Wayne police department. It's just not something that they're not something they're willing to do, guys. That's trust me, guys. Just they're fucking. Ryan Strong's basically his argument is trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. That's his argument. You don't need to know. Just take our word for it that everything's fine, and Clemus, right? You know, we're not going to let a private citizen have access to your data. And it's like, well, I don't certainly want your fucking bum ass lying Ryan Strong. I don't want your cuckold bitch ass having any of my personal data. I don't want you having any of my personal data whatsoever. You can't be trusted. It's just that simple. You've already lost your qualified immunity. You shouldn't even be employed by the city of Wayne, right? You're a civil rights violator. You're a civil rights abuser. That's what you are. You violate civil rights. You're a piece of shit. You're a bitch ass piece of shit. Is what you are. Your little lip quivering. Right, just going to going. Yeah, that's what happens when you're talking to your daddy. Yeah, your lip starts quivering, isn't it? Yeah. You know what? I remember. Oh boy, what was it? Last night, as a matter of fact, I was talking to my little 4-month old, right? Luis, right? I was talking to Luis, my son, and I said, hey, how you doing, buddy? I'm talking to my son, and my son, he's so excited to see me. He's quivering, right? His lower lips quivering, right? Well, that's what Ryan Strong does. That's what he does when I'm talking to him. His lower lip starts quivering because he knows his daddy's talking to him. Because I am your daddy, Ryan Strong. Make no mistake about it. But I don't claim you as my child, because you're an embarrassment to, well, you're an embarrassment to everything. Policing, City of Wayne, you're just an embarrassment. You're a fucking joke, right? I mean, you can't even maliciously prosecute somebody properly, right? Because you're a fucking failure. Just like your boy, your DI you hire, your pet, Finley Carter, right? That's your fucking pet, right? That's your pet. That's your boy, your pet. Yeah, he don't know how to do it either. He's had multiple chances and he fails every single time. Every single time. But yeah, Zan, the City of Wayne's counting on you, buddy. You know what the fuck you got to do. And you got to do Westland too, right? Because Westland and Wayne, I mean, it's two peas in the same pod. Let's be frank here. There's really no difference. I don't want to say there's no difference at all. Let me take that back. There's very little difference in the grand scheme of things. But Westland's a real city. Shout out to Mayor Coleman. Mayor Coleman's a real leader. There are some decent leadership in the city of Westland. A lot of jokes, right? A lot of diversity hires, a lot of cocks, right? Of course, as always, that's any government. But Dude, don't worry about the money, Zan. My people got you, dude. We got you. The we have a money. We have a fund of money, right? Listen, my subscribers, my people, have put a fund of money, set it aside for just these type of incidences, right? So yeah, it'll take money, but the good people of this country have already funded it, Zan. That's what you don't understand, buddy. I told you. I need the fucking police report. I need the register of actions from the 29th District Court. That's what we need. And if you can get me the CAD report too, that would be nice too. Get me the CAD report. Give me the police reports, all of them. Get me any witness statements. I'll do a FOIA for you. How about that? I'll do a FOIA for you. I'll draft you a FOIA. I'll send it to you. Right? Everything that we're gonna need. Everything that you're gonna need. Right? Because I mean, you want to talk about community service, buddy. You want to talk about serving your fucking country. Well, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is probably, honestly, the best way you could do it. Creating a record. Creating a record of misconduct by the city of Wayne. Right? Because then I can use your record and say, hey, buddy, guess what? Hey, look, we have a pattern here. We have 3 exact of the same scenario. Somebody asserts their First Amendment rights, and guess what? They're punished. That's why I told you need to get your ass down to City Hall, dude, and start fucking, doing your 3-minute speeches. Go over, by a few seconds, right? Go do 3.5 minute, 4-minute speeches, right? And let them violate your rights. And just remain calm and say, hey, sir, I'm not done speaking. I need to finish my point. Please stop interrupting me. Or just keep talking because John Racy's a cuck anyways, and, who the fuck is he? Other than a snaggletooth cuck. Snaggletooth cuck! That's what John Racy is. The shit stain from Wayne, John Racy. Yeah. But yeah, it's already paid. It's already funded, Sam. So, I told you he couldn't even pick up electric lawnmower without his wife's help. Oh yeah, he's got dick arms, bro. He's got 10-inch arms. Right? Not a 10-inch dick. He's got 10-inch arms, like the circumference of his arms, right? The girth, I guess. Yeah, he's got 10-inch dick arms, bro. Right? So, of course he can't pick up a fucking lawnmower. Brett Mack. Yeah, everything I've ever heard about Brett Mack, I haven't really heard nothing good about him. I haven't met him, so, I reserve judgment. But he does have 10-inch dick arms, that's for sure. He's got baby dick arms. Probably less than 10-inch dick arms. Probably got 8-inch arms, right? Yeah, I saw him. He's got the bitch tits, right? He's got the man titties, and he's got the 8-inch arms. I know. I know who he is. I know who he is. Yeah. He's married. He's got a kid or two, I know. But, yeah, he ain't. He's political elite. He's the political class. He's trying to make a name for himself or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, the city of Wayne, he's probably better than anyone that's currently out there. So, I don't want to talk too much shit about the guy. But, yeah, I'm sure he's probably better than anyone we got now. But that's like saying, okay, he's better than dog shit. Okay, he's better than dog shit. Okay, well, how much better than dog shit? Well, just better. Okay, so just a little bit better. Well, that's not, much. That's not what we're looking for. Right? So, he's average at best, dog shit at worst, so not somebody that we really... of course, I'll, either him or Roshan, I don't know. I'm going to go with the black dude. Matter of fact, I'm going with the black guy. Yeah, he's kind of a ghetto motherfucker, and, he's hood, right? That's what he is. He's hood, right? He's kind of a ghetto motherfucker, right? He's pimping, right? He's got some flashing some cash and all over his Facebook and yada yada, right? But I'd take that over anything that we currently have, right? Anything. I'll take that over anything we currently have, right? So, we'll see, right? Of course, I'm gonna tell people, right? Mulholland is definitely next to me. Mulholland is clearly the superior option. After that, it gets tricky. There's not really a whole lot of good options, but obviously somebody has to get it. So I'm going to go with the black man. Reparations for the black man. Vote for the black man, for the third candidate, right? Because, yeah, Mac's a bitch, from what Zan's telling me. He has been my neighbor for about 3 years. I think I only spoke to him one time when he asked if he can get into my yard to spray some weed killer on his fence line. Yeah, he ain't nothing. He ain't nothing special. He ain't nothing we want. And given the fact that Wayne's basically 50% black at this point, yeah, I say gotta have the black man on there. Not Darwich, because Darwich ain't a real black man. So he claims. I don't know what he claims, but he's kind of quasi black man, right? Kind of sorta in the ballpark. He's a sandman, right? He's a sandman, right? But no, we need some black representation, because I'm half black, but that's obviously not enough, right? And I'm more white appearing, so I don't want to, well, optics matter. Unfortunately, they matter, and so, let the black man have a seat at the table, I say. And obviously, we need Mulholland, right? Because Mulholland is far superior to any of those fuckwits up there. And yeah, so flip a coin. You want Mac or you want the black man? I'll go with the black man. I haven't heard anything really bad about the black man, Shannon Roshan, other than he's kind of a ghetto motherfucker, But I am too. So what the fuck can I say, right? What the fuck can I say, right? So yeah. Hopefully Roshan, hopefully he's fairly decent, right? Because God forbid if those other, worthless fucks. Right. We don't need them. The incumbents got to go at the very least. If those three get in and I'm fourth or whatever, I'll be fine with that. As long as we don't have those incumbents. I don't want those incumbents in. They're pieces of shit. I'd rather have Mac get in than have any of those incumbents. So, and fuck Mac, right? Until further notice, fuck Mac. Until Mac shows me that he's not a cuck little bitch and he's actually not here to uphold and jerk off the status quo, which got pretty good indication that's what he's up there for. He wants to make friends with him, right? So that's not, obviously, that's not going to get the job done. That's not going to get the city of Wayne taxes lowered. That's not going to get any of the services improved. That's just going to increase the mediocrity and, the deficit that we have in Wayne. So, yeah, I mean, he did that last time. Last time he ran as a write-in, he didn't really put any effort into it. I got more write-in votes than that dipshit did. And I wasn't even on the ballot. Right, so wasn't on the ballot, but now I am, guys. Now I am. So we'll see how it's gonna go. We'll see. Have the city of Wayne, have they had enough? That's the question. I don't know. I mean, Stockholm Syndrome, guys. I mean, Stockholm Syndrome. They're used to being abused, man. The taxpayers here. So, are there enough people tired of being sick and tired in Wayne? I mean, I would hope so. I certainly would fucking hope so. But realistically, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue. And, I did win the Optimism Award of Gratiot County, Michigan, but I don't know. I hope so. But I wouldn't count on it. Guys. Like I said, the indoctrination is deep. And not just the indoctrination, but you also got to remember who's counting the votes, too. So, there's a clear established vested interest in preventing me from running for office, right, and winning, right? You would think if he's running for city. So when do you want to fire up the log splitter and break out the checkbook? Dude, when I do listen, I have no problem with that. If you can match, a decent output, which I don't see why not. Um, if you can give me at least a half a cord to a cord an hour, right? Then yeah, I do it all day long. Go knock yourself out. Pound your dick in the dirt, dude. Over there. Shit, I'll record it. I'll record you pounding your dick in the dirt. I'll even hold the balls for you, dude. I'm generous. I'm feeling real generous today, dude. I will hold the balls for you, buddy. Cuff the balls, I guess, right? Or at least get a satin pillow for them, right? Get a satin pillow for them while you're out there splitting that wood. I was splitting it today. I'll show you, man. The pile's a lot bigger. Pile's a lot bigger, man. Pile is getting there. See the pile? Pile grew, man. The pile grew quite a lot. No, dude, I can fucking split wood until midnight if I want, dude. Well, first of all, these properties have some, and no, you ain't got no fucking problem with that. No, not old hurt, not Dennis and Pat over there. They've never given me any problems. I've never had any problems out of Pat and Dennis. Ever. I've asked them, hey, has my fire pit ever bothered you? Because they're next door to me, right? And, they're between me and the dipshit Dennis Danielson, right? That claims he's so offended by my, my fire pits, right? And, yeah, Mr. Dennis and Pat over there, they've never endorsed any of that. As a matter of fact, he says, well, thank God. He said, thankfully you live, I live to the west of you, and the wind comes from the south. It goes northeast. So he said, I'm southwest of you, and the wind blows northeast. So he's like, no, actually, I don't have any. I've never had any problems with your fire pit. But noise, no, definitely not noise either. That log splitter is not that loud. And there's a lot of trees and distance between us anyways. And of course, if there ever was a problem, right, they would just come knock and say, hey, we have a problem. And that would be that. Right? We'd have a conversation about it. Really, I've just never had that experience with them. So, I mean, that's the only person who's even near that log splitter. The neighbors across the street, they're too far across the street. So, yeah, I mean, you're good, buddy. You can crank out the fucking big ass speaker. I got this giant ass speaker right here. Check this motherfucker out. You see the party, the boom box? Got the boom box right here. So, boom box is what? That's my hand for reference. So, not the biggest hand in the world, but yeah, it's a good fucking, comes up to my dick, or my belly button, I should say. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. Anytime, any place, buddy. Pull up, get started, dude. Chainsaw is rocking. The chainsaw is ripping. Just sharpened her up. Wood splitter's fucking cranking it out. One pull, flip the switch, one pull, and it started, dude. And then there's the lever. It's pretty easy. Pretty fucking easy. But yeah, I definitely, I can definitely keep you busy. And then I'll cut up some rounds. Sam's Cola, $1. Because fuck Coca-Cola. That shit's too expensive nowadays, guys. I can't afford it no more, so I just get the Sam's Cola for $1. Fuck the Great Value. Great Value sucks. But the Sam's Cola, that's the shit. That is the shit. It'll be about 7 a.m. Are you down? Dude, what did I say, man? Listen, motherfucker. Do I have to repeat myself? I'm gonna repeat myself one more motherfucking time, all right? What part of on site do you not understand? Pull up, it's on site, sir. 7 a.m., 7 p.m., midnight, it don't matter, right? It don't matter. Well, so, don't come too early, right? I don't want you to piss the neighbors off. But yeah, they're up by 5, 6 o'clock, right? They're ready to rock. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, fuck, dude, that's sleeping in. You know, be up. I mean, fuck, bro. You want me to give you a video tutorial here? Shit. What if I'm getting stroked off, Zan? What are you gonna do then, dude? What if I'm getting two hands twisted, right? What if I'm getting two hands twisted, Zanny? What are you gonna do, buddy? You gonna disturb that? You gonna wake me up, right? You fucking cock blocker. Let me show you. Let me give you a little tutorial here, guys. Let me give you a little tutorial here, Zanny. Just you do what you gotta do. Just make sure nobody calls the cops on me. LOL. Dude, I've had fucker running at midnight, dude, before, Not for a long period of time, but hey, I needed to, chop up a couple logs and a couple big ass rounds, and throw in the fire pit or something. Yeah, dude, we're not cop callers around here. That's the thing. Got one cop caller down the street here. He's about 4 or 5 lots down. He's 750 feet away and he's like 80 years old. He can't hear shit, right? And so you ain't got to worry about that. You got all this fucking privacy, right? There's no, you're good. You're good out here, buddy. She's old as fuck too. She can't hear nothing. And nobody in my house is calling the cops. We don't believe in that shit, right? So, no, we're good. Let me show you. Let me give you a little tutorials, man. Watch this shit, buddy. The switch on. Flick that on, and then literally just one pull. Just like that, sir. Here's the pile, though. Here's the pile. You lit a little fire under my ass yesterday, man. You said, what the fuck kind of pile is that? That ain't no fucking pile. Talking shit. Fucking talking shit, man. And, I took that to heart. I said, you know what? That motherfucker's right, man. That motherfucker's absolutely right. That is a bitch pile, so. Yeah, I've done my darnest to try to make you proud, but obviously I'm going to cut all these up. Anything that's, not into a quarter round, right? That's a half round. Way too big. Blow your back out. We're not trying to snap your shit up out here. There ain't no workman's comp out here, buddy. So we got to make sure you're, we'll cut these in half for you, all those in half. Cut those in half. I'm going to probably split that up. Oh, I know what it's got to be. It's got to be a mountain, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I might split this shit up today. I might split up just this shit back here and over here just so I can, I need to start cleaning this shit up. But yeah, all this shit over here, this is all you. I'll cut it up though. I'll have it cut up for you, so it's easier for you to manage. And then of course, I'll start on this shit too over here. I got a bunch of shit over here too. Got a lot of shit, dude. A lot of fucking wood, dude. Way more people want to drop off, man. I got fucking loads and loads and loads of wood that they want to drop off. So, all day fiasco. If you can produce, motherfucker, that's what we need. Production. Yeah, I can pay you by the hour. I can pay you by however you want to do it. Kind of hard to measure out a cord without stacking it, but yeah, no. That's for sure. About, I don't know, I'd say by about 3, 4, probably. But yeah, I want to get it. I know what you're saying, dude. That motherfucker needs to be twice that size. It needs to be twice that size. If I can't pick it up, I will roll it. They're good. Yeah, some of them aren't bad. Like, some of them are manageable. You just cut them in half, they're manageable. But some of them, dude, they're, I don't know, it's bullshit. But yeah, if you want to do that and all this right here, I mean, that should take you a good little chunk of time. And then I got a bunch of shit down here, dude. So this is the next project we're working on. I don't think I got a chance to show you this yesterday. Unfortunately, I got an important call I had to take, as you know. But yeah, right here. All this shit right here I want to get cleaned out. I started cutting it. You see that? I started cutting it up. I started cutting it all up. Because this tree fell. That tree right there, that big ass tree, which is fucking huge as fuck. And I don't want it to rot out. I want to get it cut down and chop it all up. Because, dude, that's fucking probably 3, 4 cords of wood right there. Just in that fucking tree alone. Otherwise, it's just going to rot away, and then it's going to fall, and it's a safety hazard, you know? So, yeah, but we're going to get this cleaned up first. We got a little log right there. That right there. And then this shit right here. We're going to cut it up and get it the fuck out of here. Well, I'm gonna. I mean, if you... I don't know. Is that something you'd be interested in? I really need someone to help me out. Just cleaning this little side of the drain up. Because other than that, dude, it's perfect, dude. I mean, really. I got some bullshit I got to clean up. Like, you know, some of this shit. You know, give it a good rake down or whatever. But then I'm going to weed whip all this shit. But yeah, you know. Trying, dude. Trying. I know it's not much. But it's honest work. I guess that's what they say. You got me geeked up for this. If I can't pick it up, I will roll it there. Geeked up. Well, don't be smoking meth. All right, don't be smoking meth on me. Don't be geeking too hard. You know, only I'm allowed to do meth around here. Only I can do the amphetamines. No, I'm just kidding. Stay away from drugs, kid. Stay away from drugs, except for the herb of the earth if you're of age and not prone to psychosis or whatever the fuck idiots are prone to these days. So careful. Proceed with caution. We're climbing the mountain right now. Trying to get to the top of the mountain. Hopefully it doesn't collapse under me. It might, though. Hopefully not. Not too bad of a view up here. But yeah, it does need to be a lot more significant, that's for sure. You motherfucking right. But yeah, we got a nice little chunk right here to get rid of. And then those big rounds, too. I'm going to cut those in half. Start cutting that pile right there up. So that way, you know, it's manageable. Right? Because once you get it cut up a few times. But yeah. Like that silver maple right there, bro. That shit's way too fucking... It's way too fucking heavy to be picking it up. But you're the shit, dude. I ain't gonna argue. Oh yeah, dude. Well, you know, I mean, if you want to make another pile or just add to this one, I mean, probably just add to this motherfucker right here. Might as well. Yeah, because the bigger the pile, the cooler it looks. Just to start adding around, you know. Start adding a big ass circle to it, and then get this motherfucker like twice as tall. Yeah, buddy. I want a skyscraper of firewood, man. That's what I want. It's firewood central, motherfucker. Oh shit. Oh, we were almost a goner there. But damn, luckily I still got a little athleticism left. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little splitting, guys. I'm gonna do a little splitting. Got me in the mood. Nah, I gotta actually take my son to the trampoline park. But I might split these last 3 real quick. Just the ones that are already cut up. You know. Because even my little bitch ass can handle these. I hear something, but I don't see nothing. I don't know. I know I kind of want to come over and start. Now you got some cash, LMAO. I got some cash on me right now. Sure do, sir. If you need it, fucker dash, come hang out. Come pull up. Come pull up. You said 18? 18's your rate? Shit, come pull up. I got enough to feed you for the rest of the day. I got enough. Yeah, because these rounds ain't bad. Ones you can roll. That ain't shit. Yeah, some of these motherfuckers are bullshit. Big bullshit. But yeah, we need a bigger pile, man. This pile ain't doing it for me. He says, I'm being honest, I really don't mind splitting logs. It's not a bad job. I know I kind of want to come over. Unless you like what I do, you can always pay me more. Well, I know I could, but, times are a little tough right now, even for your boy here. Believe it or not, I started splitting firewood out of financial necessity, not out of hobby, right? So, yeah, might be able to, hopefully one day I can pay you what you're really worth, but, right now, yeah, I could do 18. 18, I can do that. Yep, I can do 18. Because, yeah, I mean, shit, bro. I'm halfway quick at it, and I already know you're faster than me at this shit. So you could probably double my production. Double it up. Yeah. Yeah, it's your call. I was gonna hit it for a minute. 10, 20 minutes. It's a lot. Especially getting to them big bitches right there. Yeah, I want to cut these up though. These big ones, because I don't know. Like this shit, this is all firewood I'm gonna burn. Like this shit too, I can't sell that. Cottonwood, don't want to sell that. That's all cottonwood bullshit. So I'm gonna end up just cutting this shit up and putting it in the fire pit. But yeah, this shit, these big old bitches right here now, those are the real problem. Like, that's a good length. Pause. Oh no, that one needs to be cut. This shit needs to be cut in half. Some are a little bit, tricky, baby. But, I know you're a size queen. Yeah, a few hours. Yeah, come pull up for a few hours, bro. Let's see what you do, man. Whenever you're ready. Tomorrow, today, don't matter. I got at least 3 hours of work for you. I don't know if I got 12. If I get this shit cut up and all that cut up and all this cut up and all that cut up, yeah, maybe. That's some big shit, bro. This shit right here, is fucking just retarded, bro. Hard as fuck. This wood though is hard as fuck, bro. I think it's like red oak or a cherry, red cherry, red oak. It's something, dude. Cause it's heavy as fuck. Dense, super dense wood right here. This is the maple. Gotta cut this in half. Cut that down the middle. Yeah. A little bit. Got a little work here. Cut this motherfucker in half. Cut that in half. And this shit. Okay, here we go. This is the shit that I want to really get done, but man, it's the same thing, dude. It's fucking crazy. You know? Absolute craziness. That's some good shit. I'm going to cut that and split it. But even like some of the stuff, like if it's rotted, right, I can't sell it. I'll burn it. I'll just burn it, you know? Obviously. I mean, not like rotted, but you know what I mean? Like it's overcooked. It's not really sellable, right? Premium. We'll just say B grade, right? Anything that's not, you know, what I'm looking for, what I'm looking to sell. Anything that's just kind of, it's not very pretty, or it's too short, whatever. Sorry, my guys. If it's too short, you're out of luck sometimes, you know what I mean? You just got to throw it in the fire pit and start over. So that's what we're trying to do. But that's nice of you, Zan. You're not gonna bend me over too hard. I appreciate that very much, sir. I appreciate just the minimal, just the minimum of bending over, right? I prefer to not bend over at all, but of course, if that isn't on the table, if that's not on the menu, then I prefer minimal. You know, minimal. I'm not really into ass play all that much. You know, not into the fondling and all the foreplay. But, you know, maybe you are. You know, so you're just going to butter me up real good, and then you'll jack the price up, double it, you know. That's okay, though, you dirty dog. I know you. I know you, Waniacs. He's a Waniac. When I split the log for tree company, a decent amount pre-cut for me so where I can pick it up and roll them over. And they left the yard, and I just did what I did. He was always happy. I mean, were you giving him a happy ending, Zan? Is that why he was happy? Or did you cut? Or did you just kick ass, you know? So I don't know if he's always happy, like too happy, then I don't know. That sounds like some Diddy party. Was it a Diddy party? Why wasn't I invited? Oh, you didn't know me back then? Yeah, that's true. Said, no, I'll just start off somewhere. If you're happy and you start making some money, obviously you need to do it more often, and we'll discuss that. Well, tell you what, good sir. I take you up on that. Like I said again, you ever seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin? Well, there's a scene in there where he's like, you know, he's like, I'm going to get you some pussy, right? Like, well, I'm going to get you a lawsuit, right? So I'm basically going to force you to sue the city of Wayne because I know you don't want to. I know money. I know, you know, all that, but nah, we just can't let that be the case, buddy, unfortunately. Unfortunately, my heart won't let me. My heart won't let me, guys. It won't let me. It won't let me let you not do what your civic duty requires you to do. Which, of course, is to get your ass to my house as quickly as possible and split all my firewood. And then sue the city of Wayne and help out your future resident taxpayers, right? Future people of Wayne that are most certainly going to be maliciously prosecuted or falsely arrested or, you know, charged with interference, right? Charged with interference. Interference, yeah, I know. That's their pretext, interference. Well, it's time to interfere in their lives. It's time to give them a taste of their own medicine. AKA lawsuit. But yeah, we'll be in touch, guys. All right, buddy. Talk to you.